Hello and welcome to Beat by Beat, the BattleCON analysis show that takes BattleCON games one beat at a time. In this match, we have Eaxus versus Hikech, which is a very interesting matchup. Eaxus is a character who uses setup and positioning tricks to his advantage. However, Hikech can easily counter these setups and positioning tricks by simply anteing his Dark Force token, which allows him to teleport directly adjacent to Eaxus. Given this matchup, it's all about who uses their tools at the correct time. Because used poorly, Hikech can find himself without a Dark Force to anti-Eaxus' tricks. And of course, if Hikech gets in without Eaxus using any of his tricks, Eaxus is in a pretty rough spot.
Fighters ready! Battle on!
Now, as with any Eaxus game, it's very important to see his starting plane. Eaxus chooses to start off with the title plane. Now this is a very interesting choice because it allows him to continuously move Hikech during anti-phase and whenever he takes damage. This can be very advantageous as Hikech is a melee character, meaning that the farther away Hikech is, the easier it will be for Eaxus to make him miss. However, remember that Hikech regains his Dark Force when he's far away. This means that this just gives Hikech even more incentive to be free with his Dark Force token. Given the initial discards, it's pretty easy to see what each player should be looking out for. Eaxus should be looking out for the obvious Psycho and Critical play, while Hikech should be looking out for Minimize and Seismic, as this is the typical Eaxus 50-50 toss-up. Will you have to advance into his minimum range to dodge the Minimized, or will you have to stay put to counter Seismic? Either way, it is a tough choice for both players. Let's go to the anti-phase. During the anti-phase, Eaxus grows 1 on his plane. This means he adds a growth counter onto his plane and it allows him to activate its growth effect. Its growth effect allows him to move the nearest opponent 1 space, and in this case he chooses to push Hikech 1. This is a very good play, because this means that Hikech will no longer have easy access to any of his melee options. And if Hikech's attack doesn't have range 3 in it, this forces him into anteing his Dark Force if he even wants to hit. Priority goes over to Hikech, and he decides to pass, and this is very indicative of what kind of attack pair Hikech will be playing, because this means that his attack does indeed include range 3, because he chose to not ante his Dark Force token. Given this chance, Eaxus seems to be a little bit scared and antes Stun Guard 2 using the Force Gauge. This means that Eaxus goes down by 2 Force and now has Stun Guard 2 on his attack. This is a very interesting play because it also signals that Eaxus is going a bit slow, or at least expects to be slower than Hikech this turn. Now, Hikech passes as well, and Eaxus passes. This means that the anti-phase is done and it's off to revealing the attack pairs. Eaxus reveals Minimize, Plane Step, while Hikech reveals Merciless Drive, making Hikech the active player for this beat. Hikech advances 1 space and hits Eaxus for 2 damage. This is because Eaxus no longer has Hikech in his range, meaning that Minimized's very powerful effect does not affect Hikech. This is quite unfortunate. However, Eaxus did anti-Stun Guard 2 using Force, meaning that he's not stunned. So, Eaxus takes damage and his plane grows, allowing him to push Hikech back to where he came from. This also means that Hikech still gets to activate his after activating effect, and since he has his Dark Force token, he dodges all attacks for this beat, meaning that no matter what Eaxus tries, he won't get hit. Since Eaxus had enough Stun Guard, he's not stunned, and he gets to activate his attack pair. However, Hikech is not in his range, seeing as Eaxus' range is only range 1 and then spaces 4 to 5, given that Plane Step has range 1 in its range no matter what. This means that Eaxus totally misses, however he uses Plane Step's effect to advance and move to space 4. This can be very interesting as it gives Eaxus control of the center of the board, meaning that Hikech can't really use that many range and burst tricks for the next beat. However, we'll see how that works out for them later on. Beat 1 ends with Eaxus losing 2 life and Hikech losing none. Both players gain 1 force and they recycle their discards. This means that Eaxus gets Diffuse and Shot back, while Hikech gets Assassin and Burst back. All of these cards are quite powerful, as we'll see later on in the game, as seeing that Hikech can make use of Assassin in a variety of ways, and given that Hikech is quite near the edge of the arena, Diffuse will work wonders if Eaxus decides to use it.